feel them like this again, okay? Put your hands on your hips for me. Start to kind of move your hips a little bit. And as you're moving your hips, try to keep your head still, okay? Try to just move your hips. And at some point as you're turning, right? As you're turning, so you're thinking of a circle, right? And at some point, let that movement in the hips make you take a step, give you a direction. So it's like I make a circle movement, and at some point I allow that movement to move me. So you're studying how to move from the hips. So it's like the hip initiated the move. Guys, watch me for a sec. Watch. Put your hands on your hips. Put your hands on your hips. Okay, move, right? Move. So your hand, my hand is going to push my hips at some point. So I'm going to push my hip now. I want you to feel that the thing that led the way was your hip, okay? It's not a big movement, but it's definitely clear that you study how to generate a movement from the hip and pass it to the knee and pass it to the foot. So the movement starts from the leg, it starts from the hip and is transferred to the knee and then the foot. Guys, watch me closely. So look at my shoulder, right? I'm making shoulder movements, right? And then I pass that movement to my elbow and to my arm. Look how easy it is for my shoulder. I make a circle movement, my elbow comes, my fist comes, right? Okay, it's the same, but it's so much different, right? So my hip is like the shoulder, and then I pass that to my knee and I pass it to my foot. It's very much, yeah. Oh, that's better. That's better. That's it. So the source starts to become your hips. Good, guys. Good. Knees now. Start to move your knees in a circle. Okay, just your knees, right? Small. It's a small movement, right? And then from your knees, let the knee give the direction. So you make a movement with your knee, and the knee starts the movement. So the knee starts to kind of lead the way. So make some circles with your knees, and then allow the knee to move. You guys, watch me. I'm sorry. Let me help you. It's, watch me, okay? I'm going to start with look at my knee. Okay? I feel like Elvis now, right? What? And at some point, I let the knee go. So it's like I have my knees, right? And look at how soft my knees are. And at some point, I let them go. I start to move them and I let them go, right? Because this is knees people hold too tight. hips and knees. They're too tight. Keep them relaxed and let them go. Don't let them be tight, right? Teach them how to move from a relaxed way. Okay, now your foot. So start to make circles on the ground with your foot. Okay, and then let it go. So I'm making a circle, and at some point, I'll make a step. So it's very much like skating, actually. And then I make a step in any direction. Soon I'm going to start to break dance. So I'm going to go into my moonwalk soon, but I'll save that for another class. Oh God, I can already see everybody. Sistema moonwalk. Here we go. Awesome, guys. Good. So this movements that I just showed you now, this last one, where you generate the source of the movement from the hip, the knee, and the foot. These are defensive movements, okay? There have many more things, but try to imagine me. Here I am in front of you, and the person right away starts to kick me, let's say towards the groin. So for me to be able to move my hips and to protect that area is super valuable, guys. So I study how to move my hips, right? When I was in doing wrestling, there were moves where you would grab the person and right away you had to know how to work with your hips, okay? That's where the power comes from, right? Not just for Sistema. So knowing how to move your hips, like you ever seen the roundhouse kicks, right? So the kick that comes to the side, right? You have to know how to move your hips to absorb that kick, right? So these kind of movements, right? Stick movements, stabbing movements. When you study how to move your hips, you move your whole upper body, okay? My knee, imagine somebody kicking you towards the knee here, right? You study right away how to protect your knees. Imagine somebody starts to kick towards your knees. You study how to kind of move your knees left and right. Yeah, so you don't get destroyed, right? And the foot here, these movements are when people try to trip you or try to sweep you, right? If you keep your foot planted heavy, it's very easy for the person to execute a foot sweep. But if as they sweep your leg, you move it, there's no sweep to be had, right? So these are very defensive movements, right? Sometimes, I don't know if you ever had experienced this, but in some arts, they study how to step on your foot so they can hold you, right? It's very common in boxing. They step on your foot so they can hit you, right? And you have to know how to move your feet away so that they don't get stepped on, okay? When I played rugby, those cleats were steel. People stepped on your foot. You had to know right away how to move your feet away. And nothing hurts more than a cleats on top of your feet, okay? So these movements, if you can practice them, how to move from the hip, how to move from the knee, how to move from the foot, they're defensive aspects of your legs. How to keep your body and your legs safe, of course. Okay. So these are super important.